Hey, it's Dan, and welcome back to Unified Gaming. Now, in this live stream, I'm going to mess around on my Magicka Nightblade build and just really touch base with the game, as it's been a few weeks since I've last been on with life and stuff. So if you get any questions about builds and stuff, obviously ask, but just know that I haven't been on as much as I would like. I'm going to quickly queue for BGZO, and then we'll obviously get into some PvP as quick as we can. I also want to tweak this Nightblade to make it a melee Nightblade using Dial-Up Bray. So we're just going to grab one of those quick. And I think we've got Mother's Sorrow, which I want to pair with it. So I'm going for like really high crit chance. So using Balorg. I think I need to get a Sorrow there. You're right, Simon. I actually did it at the start this time. Mother's Sorrow. I need to get some legs, I think. Oof. We need to then use good old Darlock. And some more Darlock. We'll change this to spell damage in a second. We'll change this to Darlock Great Sword. So we have 50% crit already. That's like really good. We haven't even got like any Nightblade buffs on yet, so that's really high. I think I'm going to use the Thief still. And then we need to get some Mother Sorrow chest and legs. And probably some potions. I'm out of potions too. So how is everyone? Grab some money. How much is this going to set me back? So I'm making a very kind of squishy Nightblade build, but we'll see how it goes. Preferably Divines as well, which is like super expensive. Ouch. 65k, I don't want to pay that much. Oh, I know it's going to be a lot. 62k. Oh my goodness. You're right, Ape. 60, 66, 69. Oh my goodness, it's so expensive. Like, so expensive. 66. Oh. Nightblades, aren't they all squishy? I'm curious to see what they do with the cloak changes. I had a little read of the notes. I don't know if other people had a chance to view them, but they're going to change how cloak works next patch. So that'd be interesting. It looks like we're going to be spending 60k a piece. Hey, you alright, Rowan? Yep. This is where all my money goes. People always ask, like, how do you get loads of money and why do you need so much money? I get loads and it goes really fast because I make builds and they cost so much to like set up. And then we need some spell damage glyphs. Not read it, but did hear it's changing. Yeah, so the Nightblade changes, from what I interpreted, and I could be wrong, they were looking to adjust how Cloak works. So the idea is that it was implied, and I could be wrong, but it's implied that the dot damage, like suppression you get, so when you go in Cloak, you take no damage from dots. It looks like they're going to get rid of that, which is quite a big change. Just need to get some potions as well. But see, I kind of agree with Ape in that it could be more smooth, but then I'm going on Zoz's track record, and I know that sounds really critical, but in my experience, they added cast times to ultimates to try and make the gameplay, more smooth, less bursty. So expensive. And it just made it worse. They tried to adjust some of the things with Dizzy and Swing, where that's a terrible potion. Sorry, that is. Okay, that seems alright actually. We'll get that bad boy. And then they also they're making. It seems as if they're making Cloak easier to counter but then also more effective as a result. So if you use a counter, it's going to be good. But if you don't use a counter, it's going to be terrible. That one goes there. We just need to change our skills quick, and then we'll be good to go. So we have a good 4,000 spell damage unbuffed, which is pretty high actually. We got Dial Up Brave for all the speed, like all the sneaky stuff. Oh, I need to get a Vampire on this again. Oh, that's depressing. I thought I had Vampirism on this. We'll get rid of that one, get rid of that. So yeah. We'll try it Impale. I don't normally use it, I think it's terrible, but I'll give it a go. I always get asked about using it. So that's my stun. Got Soul Harvest, got that. Not using a Destro, so we can get rid of all of this. We will use, sorry, we will use a Restoration Staff. Might look at that. I was interested as well with the Fighters Guild, that they're changing how like this is going to work. So Banish the Wicked, it gives you ultimate when you kill sort of vampires and stuff. You get like bonus to vampires and all that stuff, like damage. But they're going to change how that works to just be PvP. We need Race Against Time, need that. We use Proxy Debt as well, because I like having the extra burst on the combo. Okay, I think we've got all the skills we need to make this work. So the plan is to use Concealed Weapon as the stun and the damage skill. We're going to use Shadowy Disguise to sit in Cloak. I can backbar Proxy Debt to add extra burst on the combo. And then we can try Impale, which... So I'm even try Impale or Lotus Fan. Try Impale first. I want Soul Harvest. I'm going to use just a random Mag Stanblade. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry about that. I had a bit of a cough recently. It's not COVID. I have to do the test like every couple of days. But yeah, it's just been unwell. I'm going to see if I can get a cheeky Vampire Bite as well. It would be useful to have. But yeah, a Mag Stanblade is pretty much what I'm trying to go here. Like go for. So it could work. It might be really bad. So it's just opening the Budweiser. If you could, that'd be great, Simon. If you have a bite. Are you on live? Let me check. Your answer to that. Not yet. Let me see if anybody's about. There's always people around there, so I might be able to get a free one quickly. Arsenal Guild as well. Whilst we're waiting, we'll quickly slap on the staff. So this is all about basically putting on as much crit damage as we can, like crit chance. So we have a, what's our crit chance? 65%. And then we're using a battle axe to give us more crit damage. So I'm hoping that we can basically just land lots of crit hits quickly to kill people. I'll use a random restoration stuff for now. I must have one there. That's what armor that'll do for now. And then we'll queue for PGs while Simon loads up. That's getting into sneak without vampire is so slow. Yeah. So I might put wild hunting. I've got Balog currently, just for people curious. But I'm possibly going to try wild hunts. I do really like wild hunts. It's like one of the best mythics in the game, in my opinion. Particularly on the Nightblade with like Cloak and just high speed. Makes you really, really hard to kill. So we have Night Foxy, he's a Sulk, Humber, he's a Warden, and then Vad, who's a Necro. This is the first go using this, by the way, so I don't know how good this will be. He sneaks so slow. Because all our sustain comes from Dark Ray. Yeah, we need Vampirism on this 100%. That is not an option we can avoid. He's a thick boy, isn't he? Dead. Ah. Is it corrosive up? Dead. So you can get the damage, you just have to. Move around. There's something with Dawnbreaker. Yeah, look at it. Without the sneak speed, you can't like benefit from Dark Ray as much as I'd like to at the moment. But that just damage is like doing right. Look at that. That was a lot like delayed there. But no, it's working. Alright, I can kill people. Don't know. The Impale did get us a kill, so I don't know if it's still worth it though. Because there's like 12k tooltip versus the 7 there. So like, do we use it? What do you guys think? Should I stick with Impale? Or... Can't CC break. I roll too much. Yeah. See, like Impale is good at range, but it's just, it really feels like a poor Mage's Wrath. But yeah, I need that Vampire Bite next, between this fight and the next one. Because as soon as I tap Sneak, it's like Snail. Yeah, I think Impale is good for that range, as Josh says. But that's where like concealed weapon kind of lacks. The range is so low. slow I am. See, it just doesn't always lock on though. Yeah, I can't see easy break. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use ambush. Although what I want to do is focus on utilising dial up Bray, and I can't because I'm not a vampire. Oh, look how slow that is. He's got corrosives up. I think that will not fire. But yeah, in-cap would not fire for ages. It's pretty annoying. The damage is there, definitely. Yeah, see, let's go and just sit over here while Startup Bray kicks in. Corrosive up. The corrosive is such a good ultimate. I'm throwing ambush though already. Every time I see a Max or Horse, I go, oh man. The guy having the immobilize was quite useful actually.
By the east, we have the relic.
Let me. Hello. Same colours as everybody else. Yeah, you want blue up, don't you?
I'll ask.
Are you sure? Is that more? I'm asking or what? I actually want them to wear blue, and I want to tell you that. It is, isn't it?
I'll ask.
Late night stream. Yeah, it's a bit of a late night stream. that was Laura. She could probably hear. We're getting married in August, so end of August. So we're having to sort out like what Thomas is gonna wear. So he's my son who's almost 2. Move so freaking slow. Okay, crit. Oh, I hit the stupid familiar. Let's get rid of it though. Yeah, once I get that vampirism, I'm like going to be sneaking around so much quicker. I've had 8 kills though, which is alright. And I definitely have the killing power. Hey, you're right, Potato. Look how slow this is. I know I'm moaning about this, but I am so slow. Dead. See, crit damage is really powerful this match. I'm actually on a Nightblade using Mother's Sorrow. Oh, I wanted to go blow him up. Okay, we can get vampirism now. Yeah, bombers are amazing. They are like so good. So I'm making like a kind of a melee gank Magblade, but I'm not using proc sets because I want to show that you can still get enough damage with just skills. If I'm in yeah, Cradle of Shadows is savage. Like, it's not hard, it's just really long, which is like really, really depressing. Should use Ellie Drain. There he is. Let's look at that. See, what a legend. I'm not a big fan of an elemental weapon, in all honesty. I know some people swear by it. You might need the passive, Simon. You might not have the passive in, so let people, you bite people. But I find elemental weapon is just, I've got the Sidchick down here, but I just don't like it. Like, compared to concealed weapon, which yeah, so what I'm using for people interested, Dark Bray and Balorg with Mother Sorrow. So literally, like, not what you would expect. Oh, there it. One of the best spammables for PvE. Yeah, I think PvE is where it shines. You're stuck in the floor, Simon. Just so you know that. There you go. We can grab the vampirism that we need. It's really annoying that you have to like redo the quest once you've like, if you've had vampirism before, you have to do the whole thing. Like, it's the same, she can't just like bite you again and go, yep, no, oh, welcome back type thing. I think LE weapon's good on Magicka because it works quite well with frags, in that you don't really see the constant like you don't see the constant kind of skills being spammed, so it's harder to react because you only dodge, like when people are hitting you with lots of things, you roll more. Yeah, I'll bite you up afterwards. I prefer Stated Fury over Simmering Frenzy for bombing, personally, just because you normally get enough damage anyway, and the damage difference, although there is one, is not huge, in my opinion. And then having the extra sort of heal after the bomb is really helpful. Yeah, so all this damage is just crit, for people curious. So we're using 2H, with the heavy weapons, so it increases our crit damage by 12%. We're using like 0 stamina skills. Oh, that's a cheers for doing that, potato. Simon.
Father of torment, we curse you.
Oh, Simon's got great.
Poison us with your blood.
This takes so long.
Survive, and from your poison we grew.
I was like legit going around the traders earlier because I'm learning transmutation crystals, buying all of this set just so I could reconstruct the battle axe because nobody had one in the right trait, and I didn't want to like, waste crystals. So yeah, the lengths that you have to go to try and save money is ridiculous in transmutation crystals.
When I saw what I had done, I called out to my god, Arcane.
Yeah, so proxy debt is kind of as a delayed buff, like burst thing. So we can use this on the back bar. And then when we go in for a combo, we go proxy debt, switch to the front bar, heavy attack, concealed weapon, which will stun them. And if you do it right, proxy debt goes off at the same time too. So it's just like having free damage. I need to get a dial up Bray restoration stuff though. I need to find that afterwards. We might even try Stereodor later if it's not laggy. So what do you guys think of some of the new sets? I don't know if you've seen the pictures. There's been a few kind of shown on the ESO live stream. The PTS will be like released next week, they said. So I didn't put a post up, but curious if you guys seen some of it. Just quickly checking on the trade center for a restoration stuff. Blackwood, let's look at Blackwood to go get the thing. But they've got stuff that I can grab, which I'll get that in a sec. Yeah, I looked at the lightning one. Obviously, it's always hard to tell with the tooltips because the developer, obviously, they always kind of inflate the numbers. Oh, he's on for a drain. This is like so annoying. I would like to make a proper vampire build for PvP. Can I move? No. Like where I use like loads of vampire skills. I like attacked and killed him, didn't I? But the weight is so painful. There we go. Alright, we've got Van Brisson finally. Like, that took absolute ages. Yeah. I'm a vampire now. Great, smashing. We can get Darkstalker. Yeah, that was literally all I wanted it for that passive there. Right, we can queue for BGs. And we'll try and get the restoration staff of Dark Bray. The whole kind of premise of this idea is to take advantage of the buff to attacks you get from stealth. So Zos added a massive buff to stealth attacks. There it is, sweet. Then we can play the kind of the sneaky playstyle that I enjoy playing. Where are the traders in this
The
place?
Ivory Brigade has need of you.
No. They're down there. Yeah, Max is at the shrine, Simon. We'll quickly do the horse training as well while we're here.
You have my word. If the counselor is in Leowin or the surrounding countryside,
Can we get the
the
staff
Ivory
ready?
Brigade will find
Let me in.
you there. A moment of your time,
I
please.
don't. Oh, this is so annoying. Yeah, done. Let me go in.
Captain, are you really trusting the fate of Councillor Jirik to this outsider?
Oh, you got the Magnite, but yeah, Schaefer. Maxie, could you do me a favour? That's alright. Could you buy this item? I'll put in chat. Really? I did not know that. I just assumed it was because I had to do a quest. If you could, it's only 1,000 gold. I'll send you the money. But if you could send that, that'd be great. It's Dark Bray. It's a restoration staff in Leowin, whatever you say it. Look, we can actually move at like normal speed. Oh, it's deathmatch too. I tried rolling. I should have hit the thing. 6k jabs. There's only 2 hits. Yeah, I need to. I did not realise that was the thing. I'd never had it on like any other zone. Do I have anything dialed up there? I think we're gonna have to drop the. Don't have any other dialed up ray weapons. No, we'll just have to lose the sustain on the back bar. Oh, someone with prior. I hit the wrong button there. Yeah. That was a nasty incap, that was. Yeah, nasty incap. We've got Cloak on both bars, we can then take it off and put on Impale. Good. We'll grab that restoration staff after this match. Oh, I moved Cloak, didn't I? Yeah, I want Cloak on my front bar already. I can tell you that instantly. Yep, I'm so used to Cloak on my front bar, so I keep pushing the wrong skill. And we'll put Cloak on my front bar. Stupid vampire ult. It literally puts you on full health. Such a main ult. I don't have one, which is there's one in layer win, but I was going to get it, but then the BGQ went off and they wouldn't let me go for the door. Yes, Law? Okay. You can get tomorrow if you want. I don't know what else you want to say. We've looked for 25 minutes. I can help you look tomorrow. Where have you looked? M&S? M&S like Debenhams? You'll find one there. I'll pay for you. Like wedding stuff. I don't understand. That was like a bit awkward thing. Yeah, without the that's. I really need to get that thing. Can you pop him down? No, he's not. You go to the shop once you've got the vamp quest. Yeah, I can go there after if not. Yeah, without having the dialogue on both bars, it like really messes the sustain up. So that's like job 1 to get. I don't have any other place I can put there instead. Apart from that bar, the Great Sun's got no damage then. Still killing people though. Have you ever tried the game called ESO? How come he's a vampire but look how tanky he is. Like Pariah and Stage 3. Uber tanky. Possibly. We have to wait and see. Stupid shields. Yeah, I'm so reliant on that Pariah for sustain. That's why I Dark Bray. So like when it kicks in, my Magicka goes up quite quick. As soon as I swap bar, it just really snails. That's a bad position to be in there. But we can get the bat bar bit. You're running Pariah, Stage 3 and a Nightblade. You can actually send me Brawler with him. Yeah, Pariah is just so good. But I don't even think you'll need it next patch. Like, they're adding an extra 10% mitigation to everybody, which is like ridiculous. This is a high elf, by the way. Just because when it was the bomber, that was like the best race for damage. And then this is kind of like built just to have really high crit chance. So we're using like full divines. And then full really high crit chance to just give us that consistent damage. So a little bit of CP here. So like that's the crit bonus there, so it's very small. And then we have 65% crit chance. Pretty decent actually. Yeah, you managed to get it then. It's really good. There's a few other sets that are quite powerful at the moment. I think Pariah is probably one of the best defensive sets. And you have After of the Swift, which actually is pretty good if you can get it cheap, because you can transmutate the jewelry and then use it on like loads of stuff. So you use it on stand builds, and it gives you Magicka. Switch bomber to cat the other day, noticed the difference is noticeable. Me grab some Darlock. From when I tested them, this would have been about a year and a half ago. High elf back then was higher because Khajiit had Don't I put restoration stuff? Because it had a. It had like less crit chance. I think it wasn't massive, but it was like an extra 3 or 4% less damage, something like that. The foreboding cleavage. There's that one. There it is. There, we've got our staff now, so we can now PvP happily. In Darkwood, which I like. But yeah, what were you before, Potato? Were you a high elf, dark elf, or Breton? I'm interested to see what they're doing with the hybrid stuff they said as well, on a slight side note. Yeah, back then high elf was best back then. I think the main reason you see the biggest boost with Khajiit versus high elf currently is because most people use mechanical acuity. So it's like with a ganker. If you can guarantee the crits, Khajiit is best. But the problem is that you typically can't, because you're having to land so many skills in such quick succession that unless you have, you know, a mechanical acuity, you'll crit it maybe once or twice in the 5-second window. And at which point then Dark Elf pushes ahead, and it'll be a similar result with a bomber, that if you didn't have acuity, you're probably better with a high elf, because you're unlikely to just get that high crit consistent damage that you can and take advantage of the passive. Whereas with acuity, there's no reason not to be a Khajiit. Are you curious on the Sif's touch changes? Yeah, I imagine it'll be a percentage thing. So it'll be something like when an enemy dies that you've damaged, possibly you get like 2% more damage for X seconds. So when you hit somebody and they die within 10 seconds, you get 2% more damage. This can stack up to like 5 times, something like that. Or there might be like crit damage or something. They always do sort of odd things like that. Just to grab a few other passives that could help. Strike from the shadows as well. Not using entropy, so get rid of that. When you go through the destruction staff skills, out of all the skills they could rework for damage. They're unlikely to adjust this, in all honesty. This doesn't do anything for any element. So they're either going to make this have elemental bonuses depending on the stuff you use, which I can't see them doing. That seems a lot of hassle for them. Doubt they're going to change this because this has a lot of effects anyway. I possibly could see them changing this but they changed it last patch. So the only ones left really are Impulse. Oh, I reckon they'll probably change this and make this have something to do with when the element you use, you put like a debuff to that element. Or they change like the morph or something. But this doesn't do anything special based on the staff you use. So I see that's one they could change it quite easily. Or they'll change that. And instead of making it give you minor protection, which kind of you get defense from this one, this might give you more crit damage. So like minor brittle, I think it is. You might get an easier access to that on here. That's the only change I could see them doing, which is quite a useful buff for PvE. Giving everybody access to minor brittle is really useful. And if it's easy to apply, I can see a lot of people liking that. But then I don't think the damage on it would be good enough because it's so expensive. Unless you use Black Rose. But the Black Rose destruction stuff makes it actually usable. So we'll grab the Staff, chuck it on. And then now we can like sneak and get regen. I can't see them doing a 50% execute. And I don't think the 50% execute is the solution. I think the reason why Executioner is so powerful is because it's melee, and because it's a melee skill, the likelihood of people trying to avoid it is really slow, really slim, sorry. So a lot of the time you can cast it and it has such short animation, the damage is almost like applied as soon as you push the skill. Whereas with any ranged skill, you push the skill and then it has to travel a minimum time, which is like 0.1 of a second or something, but it's enough for people to roll it a lot of the time. So if you use Impale, you'll see a lot of the time you get somebody low and they roll away. Oh, I'm in one of these teams. So he's a Templar, is he a healer? No. Dead. See, look at that. Look how the difference with dialogue. I absolutely love it. Can I get the lava, please? That'd be great if I could. I've said for a long time they should just change weakness to elements and have it where about how do you dodge my ult? Oh, you streaked away and dodged my ult. Yeah, so my thing was there's a morph of this skill. My idea was not the one that gives you Magicka, but the other one that reapplies itself when you do damage. Just make it as a passive buff, so like whilst it's applied, targets get an extra debuff that reduces their spell resistance by X amount, or targets become more susceptible the lower health they are to magical attacks. So that way it gives like a pseudo execute for anybody. My habitat didn't go for me. Definitely some delay. Right. Not much, but just a little bit. Oh, yeah, dual talks. I knew it was coming. I suggested that about a year ago. Nobody uses morph, so I can't see an issue with it. Nobody ever uses that morph. Oh, isn't a Stam Crow. I hate Stam Crows. They're like so busted. Yeah, I think that's an easy solution. The only issue is it'll buff, it'll give PvE a big damage boost. Oh, so I can jump out of it. Stupid fan, bro. Oh, let's go in, sneak. Stamp wardens are crazy. I think blast bones, as Josh said, is nasty. Like, really, really nasty. So look, just it's like a homing missile. He went to vampire. Oh. Hey, you're right, hillbilly. I think my gripe with Necros is basically they take everything that's good about Warden and just amplify it. So like their blast bones hits harder, it's targetable, so it acts like an engine guardian, which means it is really good defensively. So it just does so much. Every skill does so much. I hate that people keep saying my healing. I don't really care about them getting healed. That sounds really harsh. But the amount of times you use rapid regen and just someone else nabs it. Look, they got it that time. Yeah, I think the Stamcrow, like Warden is going to be good next patch, and Necromancer is going to be godly. If they don't change the Spirit Guardian passives, then they're going to be ridiculous. Because they get like a 10% damage mitigation always, on top of giving like 4 to 5k heals every 2 seconds. So they're getting lots of passive healing from that one skill. Like it's like 2k in PvP. And so you just get, in my opinion, you get a lot of passive defense from blast bones absorbing damage. I'm actually on, I can go on bomber if you want. I can bomb. I'm using like a melee Nightblade just to show you that basically you can kill people without having to use like proc sets. So I'm using Dark Ray and Mother Sorrow with full divines. And you know, if people moan about the tankiness currently being really strong, yeah, you know, really hard to kill Necro, particularly anybody who's somewhat competent on it. If you give them another 10% mitigation, which for reference, that's like giving them almost Mark of the Pariah. So you know like how much of a difference Pariah adds to somebody. It's like giving them that all the time. They're just going to be really hard to like bring down. So I can see Spirit Guardian taking a nerf, in all honesty. I'm going to like 5% or something, or being like a counter execute. So like if you get below say 50% health, you gain 3,000 armor each time it heals you. But if they leave it as it is, it's just going to be really strong. But they're the only class that I actually struggle to kill on any build. Like they just take so much less damage than everybody else. Yeah, playing a melee Magblade, like you do have no healing. Like literally, You go, okay, I get no healing on concealed weapon, I get no healing on Lotus Fan, I get none on Cloak, that's questionable to be honest. I get nothing from that, I get one from there. I have really thought about going to NA just to see what it's like. Like, metas are different, I completely get that. But I do feel that a lot of people have started to realise actually having a defensive set means that you can kill like glass cannon builds and not be killed yourself. So if you look at like is there no one else, Elobo, Christopher ESO, a lot of those people, Malcolm, they will typically have a defensive set on in some form, and they'll use like a Balorg or a high offensive set to complement it. And it's not a criticism, it's just how the game works. And so the person who can, you know, stay alive for a bit longer and then just have high burst will win the fight typically. And if any build not in that sort of mold really struggles. So like this, I will struggle to confirm kills against anybody with high armor because I don't have enough penetration. We should probably drop one of these. Is NA your kill glass cannons by bursting them first? It is and it isn't. So I go on PTS and I fought people from NA, and when you like on stage 3 Vampire Mark of the Prior, it's really hard to get bursted. Like you have to really mess up to die. And it's not a criticism, it's just it's how the game is. The game rewards you typically for having that more. You get more benefit from having more bulk than you do from having more damage because the bulk's always giving you that benefit, whereas the damage is only helping you when you're actually doing damage or when you're trying to heal yourself. And so 9 times out of 10, you're not actually getting that benefit, in my opinion. Whereas the bulk's always there because you're always being hit by something, whether it's a dot, whether it's a status effect, whether it's somebody actually hitting you. And that's the difference in a lot of fights between people who sort of win and people who don't. Is they can actually afford to just out survive somebody. I mean, just morph that, so that's gonna go there just so we can morph it. And that's my take on the current PvP metas. I do think, as Hillbilly says, it's just Nightblade is rough. Like it's possible, but I think what people try to do wrong is, and I'm doing it here as well, is to play the melee sneaky Nightblade, which you can't do that. But if I tweak this to Mark of the Prior and make a brawler Nightblade, I could probably make it work because you have enough passive healing with some of the other skills. And you have to go in heavy armor as well. So your damage will come from just using this and Pen's debuffs. I don't recognise anybody, to be fair. Oh yeah, I enjoy doing that. Out there. I got bounce for ISP for a set there. That's right. We should just get our Magicka back. That's stupid there. Just that permafrost so slowed. End up just specking back to bomb with Zergs to a mid-year too juicy to pass up. Yeah. 5 kills that time. What is Rapid's pain? It's when you do this. You cast Rapid thing. It might go on you, and then sometimes it goes over on him because he doesn't heal himself. So annoying. I really wish there was an option just to turn it off. Like you could have a choice and just go, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm healing just myself, nobody else. Why didn't that skill not? He is tanky too. Oh, I am low health. Oh, does dual wield work as good as 2H? I'm using 2H for the passives mainly, but you can, dual wield's probably better. It was easier to find a 2H though. Oh, is that? I'm spam and snipe. As a champ. Oh, I tried to roll that. I've rolled into it. What gear are you using? I am using Mother Sorry and Darlock with Balorg. So I'm literally like just to kind of showcase that you don't really need loads of proc sets to kill people, and actually damage is easier to get with combos. That is an awful time to get stunned. Where is that stupid warden? It's just high crit chance basically. Heartland is good. Like just do it, like doing just a heavy attack. I don't think you need input on a Nightblade. Like so OP. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, hit with Jesus beam. 11 to 3 so far. I think Impen's nice, for sure. But with Cloak, if you move well, you don't need it.
Somebody pick up the relic.
So I can burst people down without actually like needing to just snap damage. Yeah, I'm using Thief as well. It literally just all crit chance. That's literally the build with Dialogue. The not perma thrust got me, and that was like literally I couldn't escape it. What do daggers give you? The other reason I'm not using daggers, and this is one of the main reasons, is because it's level 3. Daggers increase your crit damage down by 2%. Daggers increase your crit chance down by 45. I don't think it would be.
They picked it up. Somebody pick up the relic.
Dead. Yeah, I'm roly-poly. I literally am just roly. I think dual woods were mainly used not for the skills, to be honest, but used for the passives, particularly on mag builds. Stupid bear. It's just rolling about. "20 kills to 4 deaths. Dialogue really helps, so that sustain is just amazing. Yeah, I think for bombing, maces are probably better for if you don't bomb at max ult. If you're using Balorg, I'm assuming that's kind of what the question was sort of indicating. But yeah, if you're bombing, if you're using Balorg 500 ultimate, I'll probably go axes or go 1 axe, 1 mace, because you're getting like 20k plus pen. But if you're doing, just typical stuff, maces typically are more damage because you rarely overpen somebody unless you're using Balorg, and even then, it's only when you have like really high ult. Yeah, as Hillbilly said, the axes is what I would have thought. Stacking crit damage rather than pen. So Nernhound v Sharpen. The reason you would use Nernhound is because of this passive down here, I think it is. Increases the weapon and spell damage by 3% of your offhand weapons damage. So if you use Nernhound on that one, you get slightly more damage. So if you went Sharpen Nernhound, you can get ever so slightly more damage, but it depends. If you overpen them, Nernhound would be better. If you don't overpen, Sharpen's better. And the difference is so minor, it's not worth the gold investment in my opinion. So you find that people just go one of each. They don't go Nern one and Sharp the other, but the difference is marginal. Are you waiting for Magicka to return to its former glory? Oh, I think Magicka's great. I really like Magicka. Yeah. That damage difference is like, it's not gonna matter between getting the kill or not. Like if you weren't gonna kill somebody just because you hadn't Nern or Sharp, but you weren't gonna kill them anyway. Like, it's that close. So what I do, Nicholas, is I typically move in L's. Let me see if Maxi or turns it on. Let me travel to Maxi quickly. I'll show you what I mean in the duel because it's easier to see. And it is also partly with dial-up Bray. There's a benefit of which a lot of people don't really take into account. And I think arguably it's one of the best reasons why I use it. Is Maxi around? Let me message Maxi and see if he's about. I think I've got the microphone over my hand. I think it's perfect for Nightblades. So one of the things is, so look how close I can get to this enemy, yeah? Well, that's not an enemy. No. So I'm assuming theory craft build that isn't complete trash, you need some form of penetration. Penetration you can get quite easily. If you're a stand build, you've got access to Puncher, which is 9k pen instantly. To your question, Nicholas, it's not so much about casting it when you're double casting it. It's more about casting it when you have the distance. That's the trick to it. So a lot of the time you see I go for my race against time and roll and then cloak. Whereas what a lot of people do, and when Maxi comes out, it'll be easier to show, is I cloak when I'm away from them, which sounds like simple, I know, but a lot of people cloak too close to them. So what happens is you get away from them, and then when you leave cloak, you're in sneak, but because you're still too close to them, just keep the BGs. I don't think it's buggy. Like I never have issues with cloak, in all honesty, and I've played on Xbox, played on PC. I'm on PCEU currently. And in all honesty, a lot of it is positioning. Like there are some position issues with it, 100%. Particularly with pets, like that's when it's really buggy. But in my opinion, a lot of it is just getting the distance. So this person here, or Vortex, her detection radius is about this far, roughly. About this far. So if I was to sneak here, without dial-up Bray, she would detect me. With dial-up Bray, I can enter sneak about here, roughly. Which doesn't sound much, but that difference there is pretty big. And so, what people normally do is they normally get hit, they roll, cloak, and move, but this person's fallen them as well, so they never get enough distance from them. So you are better just running and then cloaking. Just have a look where. So look how close I can get. I'm not gonna. That's how close I can be, without. See, I'm really close to them. It is buggy. I'm not going to deny it for a moment, but a lot of it is using it and just moving through them. So I'm going to try and like just aggro somebody. Pause to leave over here. Got stand on chasing me. I'll go for cloak. The speed and then a cloak up here. Yeah, in BGs though, you don't get it. What happens, so it'd be easy to show Maxi, but basically what you're doing, I'll do what you're doing, and then this is what you're seeing. You're fighting somebody like this person here, yeah? Go on, attack me. So what you do is you'll cloak next to them, yeah? And then as you're moving, you haven't got enough distance away from them. So then when you come out of stealth, if even in sneak, their detection radius can see you still. Yeah, they literally don't want to attack me, I don't know why. You coming up here? No. It's coming this time. Coming this way? Yes. So what a lot of people do is they get here and then they cloak, and then as they're moving, like you see that eye, it's not closed, not hidden. So I'm still in range. And without Dial Up Ray, your detection's even people can get even far away. Yeah, no, it'd be so much easier if they just stood still. They've got a lot of hitters, there's like nobody with any real damage. Like you can see that with the enemies we're facing. So we're going to focus on just killing them and just finish the match. Okay. See, that's what I mean by pets pulling you out of stealth. So look, stupid pull. I got pulled. What pulled me? Something pulled me back to them.
Decided to take a nap, did we?
The issue that you have against some classes, they snare you too much. And that's one of the big issues you'll find. Oh, I got a hit with an incap and my incap hit him for like 7k. Oh, the speed swings ring's amazing. Brandon, I use it on like, I don't have it on this, but it is literally the difference between like staying alive and not in most instances. Oh, he is a tanky boy.
Decided to take a nap, did we?
Oh, that was a good Cloak there. There's the Magicka back. Yeah, I'm not using Cloak, that's somebody else. That's one on the bar. First potion then didn't far. I spent ages just getting hit with rocks. Corrosive smash. Snipe. Can't bend in the Claudians. I've tried it, something always stops me. It's good. Claudians is good, but it's one of those ones where it's a bit cheesy. And like you can see the build that I'm using, I have no procs. My damage is not particularly high, but I can still kill people. Arguably it's annoying. Stupid Nightblade. Okay. See, this is why Cloak's so stupid. Because I should have died then. The double kill. Slow kill. So slow kill. Spell strat's alright, it used to be good decent. That was a good execute by him. past after. Slabs are so annoying, like really negates a lot of your burst. Alright, we won that. I'll show you what I mean with the cloak thing, okay? And it took me a while to get used to it. Like, it is really awkward to get used to. Let me see if Max is about. Yeah, just messaged him. I think we can morph that skill paper. Yeah, we can. There he is. So, if I'm assuming you can hear me, Maxi, yeah? Oh, Cosmo Stills of Endeavour. They are changing Cloak a little bit. It reads, I could be wrong, but it reads as if dots will be working in Cloak. So the things that people get mixed up is the sneak range and the detection range. So this is sneaking, and this is different to invisibility. So like when you sit still, your detection range doesn't really, like, it's slightly larger. But as soon as you move a little bit, it does change. So that eye it opens up a bit, and the quicker you move, like, the wider the eye is. So look, it's all the way up here. So when you move slowly, that does have an impact. So what people do is they go to the target. They might get that stun or something, CC break for example. They roll and then cloak. But as they're moving at full speed, what's happening is that it makes you louder in effect. So then you're easier to detect. So what you want to do is when you roll, you want to take a step and then cloak. And that, it sounds daft, but that extra step, that sprint. So I roll, sprint, then cloak. And when I'm like at the end of cloak, that's when I tap sneak. So I'll do the thing with Maxi, and I just do it without the, I'll tap and sneak straight away, okay? And then tap and sneak at the end of cloak. So I'm gonna hit him, I'd roll away and I'll cloak. And like this is just with no sneak. And you pop out and do the same again this time. Tap sneak, cloak. And as you move around, you get like that eye opens a little bit. And all it takes is him to just be anywhere near you for it to pop up. We'll do the same again though. So I hit him, cloak, then I tap the sneak over here, and you go for a second cloak to get that distance. So it's like kind of using the invisibility and the sneak together. And what people do is they tap sneak too soon, and that's when they get pulled out. So like you have to tap sneak kind of around sort of a second or two, because if you don't, this happens, and that's why he pulled me out. So I'm gonna hit him. Okay, I tapped it too soon, and that's what causes it. Like, it's really annoying, and just I find 9 times out of 10 it's better to hit them, just let Cloak do its thing, and then sneak at the end. So that when you're kind of about 1 second, that's when you sneak. Second and a half. So hit him. Like move away, then tap sneak. And I've got enough distance then to get an invisibility, sneak or cloak again. And that second cloak will save you. And that's the difference. And when you do it at a high speed, like when you're sprinting, you go for second cloak and then sneak. They've got all this distance, so he's not going to get you. So I'm going to ask him to try and kill me now. And a really good way to get good with Cloak is just do it in a duel. Because duels currently are slightly buggy and the detection is larger than it should be in duels. So if you can stay alive in a duel, just moving around properly. See, I'm not having tapped sneak at all, now I'm tapping it. Like, I'm well and truly away. And it's a real subtle thing. But it does make a difference. And it's going to take practice, but big thing I can say is cloak, then sneak. It's like the easiest way to do it. But when you get confident, you can go cloak, 1 second sneak, and it will do that. So where the eye will go, it will just appear open, and that will disappear like that. And that's the timing that you want. Because in that way, you know that most of the time you'll be safe, because you've got enough distance to get away from them. And that's with no speed buffs either. So I don't know if that helps, Brandon, but it might just give some ideas. It's so you fight a Nightblade in the duel, by the way. It's all block. Look how strong block is. Like, block mitigation is crazy. I don't think proxy deck would, to be honest. And I think what they're trying to do is stop. They're trying to stop stuff like this. Yeah, this is why I love unblockable stuns. Yeah, and getting hit with fossilized does really make it harder to stay alive. So what you can do is you can pop in stealth with full heavy attack. Oh, I didn't land it that time. Cloak. There's some more. Out of the Nightblade there. There are some classes that will be harder to kill, 100%. DKs are naturally bulky because of the passives, and they have really good healing. Especially when they're low health. This is what they're trying to avoid, by the way. Literally, I have, just for context, 4,000 spell damage, nothing particularly high. 32k Magicka, 7k pen. Like, it's not a high damage setup at all. All I'm doing is just go Cloak, heavy attack, surprise attack. Oh, damn it. So, wrong button. Cloak, heavy attack, surprise attack, 14k damage. And that's just doing like something that just lands instantly. So they're trying to avoid the high instant damage from Cloak. On my Stam Nightblade, I can do Dizzying Swing and that at the same time. So you get all the damage. So it does like 24, 25k damage at once. Really stupid. You can add in Proxy Debt. So exactly the same kind of combo. And that's what they're trying to get rid of. Like, you could do that to people. Obviously he's on a squishier build, but it's a lot of instant damage, and that's what they want to counter. And like, in all honesty, I could have a lot more damage on this build. A poison tick. Sorry. And that's the issue they're just trying to get rid of. Like, you can just do so much free damage from Cloak. There's Cloak. Uh, 17 to 18k soul tethers without bumper toggle. Yeah. It is. It's the. And the issue is, you can stay alive. Like, you can invest in all damage on a Nightblade. If you are good with using Cloak and movement, you can basically have high damage and stay alive really easily. Like, if you obviously you guys look on YouTube and stuff, and you'll see that any stamina Nightblade build, how many of them have a defensive set on? Like, you don't see Mark of the Pariah using a Nightblade. The most you might see is Vampire Stage 3. And there's normally something like Balorg, and then it's just 2 damage sets. Because Cloak is that strong that it allows that class to do that. If you took that profile, that template, to another class, you just can't do it. Like, the only one that's kind of can is Sulk because of Streak, and people moan about that. And even on the Magblade, like, the damage is, you have to have loads of damage. So you, to kill people. No, exactly. I think next patch is going to be a really... Well, that was a nasty blast bones. vampire ult. Hit me through the wall. It literally went through the wall. But yeah, I think as Cube Icons saying like stand blade, you like they stack damage because they can. Some people would say they need to because the damage is low. I disagree with that personally. I think they have really high damage actually. He's got the vampire thing. Yeah, waiting to gank somebody. I'll switch to my stand blade in a moment. And I'll chuck on just some random stuff and just like the damage is there. Like you don't need damage. Especially this patch. Like it's never been so high. Right, they've got that. Oh, that. Just out of stand. Did you just sat there like out of stand? It's depressing. Yeah, I'll switch to stand Nightblade, and I'll just show you that like the damage is high if you want. You just have to change the skills you use. Like Dizzy Swing is amazing. Good luck getting stand checked. Yeah, I rolled too much to be fair. That's why I died. Was that a beam? I think I got hit with beam then. Yeah. I think they're gonna nerf it. They've already kind of indicated that it's gonna have dot suppression taken off. Remember, Magblade's immortals. He's got prior on. He is so tanky, isn't he? You can see my damage is getting less the lower his health gets. Yeah, he's a prior on Vampire Stage 3. I think Dark Cloak compared to the other heals is terrible. Like it's really bad. Compared to like coagulating blood. I'd rather have coag on than a Dark Cloak. Any day. It's just. I rolled at the end. I got hit with the beam. The 7,000 tick, I think it was at the end. But like, considering how long I stay alive, my armor that's my armor value. Sorry, I have no impen, and it's just Cloak. And on the Nightblade, you have even more ability to roll. I think Dark Cloak should have like the Bud and Seed thing, where if you recast it, it gives you like the heal. That'd make it actually quite useful. Whereas at the moment, it's just like, it's a heal over time that's a bit terrible. I think like, even with like, heal yourself like 20k over all Nightblade. This week. Don't get here, then I can get Cloak. Oh, we're purple, aren't we? Went to the wrong base. Yeah, I ran. Oh no! I see. I can't Cloak. My healing's gonna be suppressed. It's got the relic. I can get Cloak. Oh my goodness. Ah, fear. I literally went to go kill his mate and then I got hit with fear. Pretty nerfed Dark Cloak, which was 32% max HP for the duration. It should just be something like heals you 20,000 health over 10 seconds, but then, or over 5 seconds. But if you recast it, you get 80% of the remaining heal at once. You can like double cast it if you want and get like a kind of a pseudo burst heal. That moment's terrible. I thought I was going to hit with top and charge then. Oh, Dark Cloak used to be amazing. Oh. Yeah, as soon as I hit that crescent sweep, I knew I was going to die. It's a 9,000 crescent sweep. It's quite a large crescent sweep. Target him. They hit me very hard. I'm stampeding skull at once. I think Nightblade is forced to play in this kind of role. Oh, that was a horrible blast bones. Look at that. See, that is very... Blast bones is over-tuned in my opinion as well. Like, so strong as a skill. Like it hits harder than most, like the Stamcrow's ultimate. It's ridiculous. But that's when I went for the sneak to get away from there. Was that Silk not using streak? That was 10k ink out, that's nice. I'll push Cloak and fire. That's good. It doesn't work when you land and stuff, by the way. Prismatic weapon. You don't see many people use that. It's nasty if you find a vampire though. Yeah, portal worked eventually. I think the cloak changes are needed. In kind of all honesty, Captain Crunch. As much as I like playing Nightblade, as much as I like to abuse it, the stuff Cloak lets you do is ridiculous. And I think that so many skills have been nerfed because of Cloak. And that sounds really harsh, I know, but it's really true. Like, if you look at Snipe, for example, people moaned about Snipe because of the desync, which I agree, that's been fixed on the whole. But then they've nerfed the damage massively, so the damage is really awful. And then on top of that, they've then basically made it so you can't like really use it at range just because of the changes to the travel speed. So you can't like get 2 lots of snipe at once. And if you go, okay, well that's because people go and snipe Cloak. If you take like Nightblade out of the equation, nobody else uses snipe a lot other than people like Zergan, because the damage was high but people could dodge it. But when you have Cloak, you can just hit somebody and go invisible again. It took a really big nerf, and it was a bane of PvP for ages. And I think Cloak was the main cause, in my opinion. I'm gonna just chuck Darlock on a Nightblade quick, a Standblade, and just show you like you can do really stupid stuff with Cloak. And so I'm not one who like say, oh, let's gut Cloak, but what I'm saying is that it has a lot of versatility in one skill with very few counters, because the counters really aren't that, you know, viable. And I know that I'm gonna get like a lot of hate because people go, oh, you make Nightblade videos and you make snipers and stuff, but it is strong. I'll load the post up though, just for those people curious. And I'll just throw it on screen in just a second, because I know people will be curious about it. I think they're both OP in their own way. I think Streak's OP in that it stuns, and so it's a really good escape tool. The issue is that because they reduced the cost scaling, people can now spam it more. But when that was in place before, although it was annoying, it could be countered because you couldn't do 3 streaks or more in a row. Whereas now you can go streak, 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 dart, deal, streak, streak. And so you just can't close that distance anymore. Whereas Nightblade, you can spam Cloak, and with the extra 5k resources for like Magicka and Stamina, a lot of Stam Nightblades now have like a 15 to 20k mag pool, and the only mag skill they're using is Cloak or Shade. So they have so much, just so much ability, like just so much freedom to Cloak as much as they want. You know, you've got 15k Magicka, that's like 3 to 5 Cloaks at least without any regen. It's about 5 roughly. If you add in the regen, you probably get 6 Cloaks in a row. That's a lot of cloaking. And Streak's the same thing. Like, those skills need a cost increase if they stay as they are, personally. Just waiting for the forums to load. It's a bit slow today. Have a little look as our chef put 22. Oh, I love playing Nightblade. I really do. For some reason, the forum isn't loading on my laptop. So I'm just check if it's the website or whether it's my laptop just being derpy, basically. And then I'll show you what you can do on the Nightblade, just with like no damage sets really. Yeah, it's working on my phone, so that's odd. Why it's not working on the laptop? Could just be Chrome being silly. I will try and load it on the laptop once more. Forum is bugged on PC, doesn't show for some people. Yeah, I'm one of those people it doesn't show for. It's probably a Windows issue, most likely. There's been a few issues with Windows recently. Yeah, anyway, I've got it on my phone, so I'm just gonna quickly read it. Just looking at the time to kill. So it says, in hopes to improve both the ability to utilize or distinctly deny and remove stealth and invisibility, we're adjusting our rules to what player attacks should break these effects, or attempt to try and hit them. Previously, this was handled purely on the ability level of these effects, like Shadow Cloak, leaving them very susceptible to breaking in a multitude of ways when a complex and dynamic abilities were used against them. Now we're adjusting a significant amount of player source attacks and effects to have rules applied to them, in addition to rules built into abilities like Shadow Cloak, reaching a much more streamlined experience. And it was this part that I thought was quite, yeah, by all means, Chauffeur. For player abilities, the only thing that will break stealth or invisibility are direct damage, card control, such as stuns and or immobilizers, or revealing effects such as Expert Hunter or revealing flare. Player damage over time abilities of any type will no longer remove targets from stealth or invisibility, but may still damage them depending on their source of attack. So that last bit's quite interesting because it says dependent on the source of attack, which they're either implying that AoE dots will still damage them, but not single target, which then you have the same issue that you have live. AoE effects will damage targets under these effects, but will not remove the effects themselves. There will also be a short window when entering stealth or invisibility when player single target attacks made against you will no longer cancel their activation or strip the effect. On the other hand, we've better accounted for reveals or detections in the rule sets of stealth and invisibility, so attacks won't miss as often as before when utilising them. That's kind of the main bit about Cloak, basically. So the way in which I read it, and feel free to disagree, is that they're going to make Cloak probably act like roll dodge. When you cast it, it'll be like when you activate roll dodge, that it'll be that kind of window. So when you do the skill, it's like when you roll and you dodge an attack, it'll be that kind of immunity to just anything that's there. And then after that, you can still be hit if you like people track you through it. But they indicate that they're going to work on the dots for it. Whether they're going to allow a single target or not to work is going to be questionable. But if single target dots go through Cloak, then that would make it more balanced in my opinion. But if they leave it as it is, it's pretty busted. I'll grab one of these, put some weapon damage back on it. The change of the Crusaders set. Yeah, I saw that. I think until we see the notes, we can't speculate too much, but it feels that they know people moan about Cloak. And Cloak's one of those really polarized skills in that it's really OP. It sounds like it's that really polarized in that in PvP it's really OP, but in PvE it's useless. Like absolutely useless. I think I've got everything on this that I actually need. That's what's up, that's it. Yep. So this is on a stand blade. I'm using 1 damage set, which is Ashen Grip and Dial Up Ray. Okay? My weapon damage isn't crazy high, but I'll just show you how much damage you can do just with Dizzying Swing into Surprise Attack. And like, if you take away the Ashen Grip as well, like, you still hit it hard. I wonder whether they're going to make it so that, like, if an AoE dot hits you, it will keep the debuff on you. I just think Cloak should be like Spirit Guardian. When you cast Cloak, you just get 10% mitigation, something like that. Whilst Cloak is active, you shroud yourself in shadows, making you avoid, like, making you bulky or making you take less critical damage or something like that. This is with Wild Hunt, by the way, if people want to see how fast you move with Wild Hunt. It's quite stupid. He's got Resto up. Yep, dead. I wrote an idea. I wrote an idea a while back in the forums, and it was basically 1 Cloak allows you to get like a flat 5% damage mitigation or something, but then it gives you more critical damage, like you can hit people for higher crits, and the other one then increased the mitigation that you got. That's easy, right? That'd be great. Stupid Nightblade. Jordan Stamblades. Yeah. Oh, he's a healer. Yep. So I was hitting the Necro healer. I didn't explain why. I was like, why is he holding block? He's just joined recently. Oh, executed the wrong person. Oh, wrong bar. I went to. That healer is spamming heals like crazy. Look, you see, he's like not doing any damage that one there. What's really silly is a lot of Necro heals don't show anything because they're Spirit Guardian. That right there is why I swapped to Stun Break Free version of Temple Guard. Yeah, I can see why. Not quite. Dead. So that there, you saw pretty much killed the guy really fast. Do it this one. So, that's my damage stats. 4,700. Like, you don't need loads of damage on Nightblade. It's just because you can, why wouldn't you? I've just gone with like, look at my sustain. Amazing. Do you see that guy's just the crossing in that guy got? Oh, Dual Templars. Not a good place to be. Yeah. It's the Spirit Guardian. Dead. Just couldn't execute him, it's too low. So this is like the standard version of the Nightblade earlier, by the way. And it's just silly. Oh. Like, it's just the damage difference in Sam to Mag is ridiculous. In all honesty. And my surprise tag, my Mag one was 7k. It's 9,300 on a stand build. Like, it's got. I know you have like more pen on Mag typically, but you can just get the pen easy with them all. So you're like, okay. What do you think of the stand version of that kind of Nightblade? So he's the Mag one earlier. But yeah, it's I want to see what they do to Cloak. It is really fun to use. I will make a video on this at some point. I just haven't had a chance. My voice went about a week ago, and it's really croaky. Still not 100%, but it's a lot better than it was. So my damn it, 9-1, 10,000. What's silly is though that like this is why it's such a stupid combo. Is because whilst this is queuing up, you can get this animation to be like happening. You then hit light attack and surprise attack. This will then land, and then the light attack and the surprise attack lands at the same time. And this stuns them because you hit them from behind. So you end up getting that damage plus that damage plus the light attack damage. And an Ashen Grip, which is about 4k. And so you literally like just with 2 skills, you are hitting somebody for like 25k tooltip damage without really trying. It's stupid. Why is it? There's always some absolute. I can't use those words, but there's always someone spamming bombard or magnum shot. Like, it's typically a magnum shot, but there's one guy here, whoever he is, him, I guess. Spamming magnum shots, bombard. Sorry, it's really annoying. Yeah. There he is. It constantly pulls you out of cloak. That's the difference though between not being able to cloak. Like, I couldn't cloak this, I died really quick. Because I was being pulled out constantly. Oh, rest of ult. That's a good rest of ult. Almost had him. Went to go for the execute. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it does read that it's going to be easier to get into cloak. That's how I've interpreted it. Easy to get into cloak, but then things will be able to hit you through cloak if they were targeting you. That's how I could be wrong. Where's that stupid Nightblade? Sorry, he's really bugging me. He literally ruins the... Did you two spawn soon? I think Broad Blade is viable. Run that resource. And just constant people spamming that. It is like the most trolly skill that is in the game, Bombard. I think Cloak's so polarized because when it works it's really godly. When it doesn't work it's terrible. So like a match like this when people are spamming AoEs, really hard to fight against. Because you're getting immobilized constantly. Hey look. But yeah, it is a constant CC spam or like an immobilized spam that just really ruins how you can like move around. Bombard also actually has quite a decent tooltip. That one, 6k. When you morph it's like 9k tooltip buffed. It's actually like really decent. That's Sam DK spamming it, the Nightblade spamming it. Mobility is like really bad this match. Hit with fear. Shade doesn't exist. Yeah, I think Shade's good. Just constant CC. I permaculate and I'm not afraid to admit it. Yeah, permaculate is great. But in matches like this, when it's just lots of AoE spam, it's really hard to use Cloak. You've obviously got their mute spamming Breath and Bombard. You then got a Nightblade up here spamming Bombard as well. And so it really just makes it hard to stay alive in a build like this. I want to make an anti-Nightblade build as well, actually. There he is. Where did he go? You see, like, literally just getting immobilized with Bombard. It's really difficult to fight against. Just because you spend so much resource trying to get out of there. Yeah, Dark Cloak, it does need some help, I think. Magicka has no great burst. That is green. We're gonna go kill him when he spawns. Here's the argument for snow traders. Did he spawn yet? We're only 1 kill off, aren't we? But yeah, that's the difference in being unable to use Cloak. Like, you can stay alive, but it's so much harder. And that shows kind of how polarized it is. First BG where I could choose Cloak freely. Stay alive, it's so much easier. This will be the last BG for the night, I think. For people curious, by the way, I can show the sets. Ashen Grip, Darlock Prey, and 1 Balorg with the Wild Hunt Ring. So it's all about getting Dizzying Swing and Surprise Attack to land together. So that guy up there, spamming bow stuff. You got an Icy Monster Helm permacloak when another faction was too busy farming the boss. Yeah, you can do that. I think Cloak's great for IC. And if you get a free helm out of it, then why wouldn't you? Oh, he didn't play Follow the Nightblade. You going up here? Where's Maxi gone? There he is. I love it how the stalk starts hitting me. Hit me 7k frag. Did you hear less than helms as well as are? Yep, I've seen people do them. I think Grim focused. Grim's Forge, sorry, he showed a thing. Who's that? But that's where streaks so annoying. So that. I'm gonna go with that. So. That's salt because I was up there. You have to be really careful when you've got assaults because of the ability to streak and stun you or halt a person like nuke you. Dead. How'd that leap hit me? Yes. Okay. That's it. The talk died when you give him the kill. Just literally get leap, ice common, horns and curse. If they don't fix it next patch, would you consider making a video? Possibly. I don't like below 50 BGs because it's really slow. Endless Fury. Yeah, below 50 BGs is really slow. Like the time to kill is like it's awful. Like I like the time to kill in this patch. It's fast, it's quick. It rewards reactive gameplay. I think the issue is that it shouldn't be a thing that I should allow in the first place. I went for the more dodge execute. I hope spin instead. Yeah, I think damage is in a good place. I think giving people 10% more mitigation is just stupid. There's so many sorts, each time I kill I just get an assist. Oh, did that guy fall off? It's just a streak spam, isn't it? I don't like how streak that pulls you out of something that has a really big stun range on it. Like if it's anywhere near you, it stuns you. I spend so much time just having to avoid the constant streak spam. It's like literally so much spam. I think people will find ways to make things broken anyway. Yeah, how many sorts are there? 2 sorts there.
Yes, we've taken the point.
It's just that they can spam it so freely this patch, and that is the issue. was kind of flipping a sec. Get some stand back, I'm gonna die. But that's meant to be that's meant to be fixed, that bug. Look at that. Drake got me. Yeah, this vape bug is ridiculous. Dead. Look at that. See, that is ridiculous how far they can streak away. I hit with this. It is the streak. The streak is really annoying to fight against. You die in the tethers on you still. Yeah, you do get that sometimes. They need to put the cost increase back to what it was. I don't know if you can spam it too much. I've got stam checked. Oh, I've run out of stam. The issue is it's the ability to spam it. That's the problem. Oh, got a leap. I don't think the range is the issue. Because all that happens, people just spam it more times. The issue is that you can cast it 5-6 times in a row. That's so many assists that time, and just each time you get someone low, just get stunned, CC locked. That's where like we see like, oh, we're gonna play Cloak again. Cloak's so strong. I'll switch to mine. I'll show you just what I mean with just how strong Streak is. Like, it is really, really difficult. And that is the issue with it. Like, Cloak's got a similar issue that you can spam it too much. And the like stun radius is insane. It's a good skill, like really good skill. It like does so much in one button. Gets you out of trouble, stuns the enemy, does damage, and gets you like away from melee people. I jump on Silk quick and just show you how often you can spam it, and this is a problem, in all honesty. Even Ball of Lightning, that's still busted. Like, you cast the skill, it gets you away from melee attackers, so they can't be hit, and it puts a ball, which means range attacks can't hit you. So that one seal basically makes you immune to damage for like 2 seconds. And if you spam it twice in a row, you get the distance away from gap closers as well. Which 9 times out of 10 you will spam it twice, if not 3 times. But they nerfed Dragonite Wings because it had no counterplay. But when you fight a Magsork using Ball of Lightning as a Mag character in a duel, it's so hard to just get a combo on them because the ball lasts for like a second or two. I think it's like 2 or 3 seconds it lasts. It's quite a long time.
I saw strange lights coming.
You're streaking to your own death.
I thought it was desertion.
What am I using on this build? Crafty and trainee. I'll do one on the Sork. I do like playing Sork in PvP. Sork's just so busted. Like it really is. Do I have any sugar skulls? Ah, sugar skulls. That is something I need to grab. So, I'm not even going to look at the crocodile, yeah? I think it's like this kind of radius to hit him. Like, it's like anything that's off them, hit them. So anything kind of off the target. It's got about a 5 meter width. Crocodile's dead of streak. And then what you do is you just convert that Stample into Mag by using Dark Deal. You go that one and you just get it's even cheaper. So look how many times I can spam streak. And for my regen, I've got 1900 regen, which is quite typical. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. 7 times in a row. And that's like with getting the cost increase up to 7 times. What most people do is this though. They typically go once, twice, 3rd times, sprint a little bit, or Dark Deal, and then once, twice. And so it just gives you so much freedom just to get out of trouble. And if you add in a potion in the middle mix, so I'll do it again, but just with a potion this time. Just you got 7 last time. How many can get this time? Once, twice. I think I missed 1, but I could probably 8. And it's silly. Like it's really silly. So, and what you have to deal with is like, yeah, I got 7. It was definitely 7. I could probably get 8 if I missed a 1 because I popped my potion too early. So I probably would have got probably the 8th one if I did use the potion right. I don't have any sugar skulls. That's sad. Sad. I have not made a mag sort video in ages. Yeah, Maxwell's stupidly OP, innit? You just go around just blowing people up at range. Oh yeah, I won a Maxwell the other day and had a 56 kill streak. I didn't use it for a year. I hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. I went to hit my shield and I got stuck in that start do animation. There's a source up there. I normally use a light armor shield on the back bar. So let me put the back. There you go. That's the loadout I like. Yeah, shield 1, shield 2. Like, you cover your whole health bar. I don't know what my skills are. I'm glad I overrode on this. Oh, almost. I'm getting used to kind of what my skills are now. Push the shield, didn't fire the shield. That's annoying. But yeah, definitely, like, this isn't even a current build. Like, this is what I used in the no proc patch.
Let's get that relic back.
I've rolled too much then. I'm caught with Dawnbreaker. I think even 3 streaks is still cheap enough. That tapper is really long, isn't it?
Scales of Agathos. They have the relic. They captured the relic.
That. Do you move snipe? I did over there. I wasn't sure if it was in the cloak or not. I'm pushing the shield, by the way, just so you can see. Oh, actually, I'm spamming the button. There's a horrible bug where you can't use streak if the person's on a different elevation to you. So that's what happened down there. I went down here to hit the streak. So I swapped bar to hit the streak, and then because I was down here and he was there, it was different elevation. And it bugs out. It does it in Cyrodiil and towers as well. But yeah, Sork's really good, basically. really good. I do like playing Salt. Yeah, the graveyard person was just spamming it. There's a tank at the back. I know some people use a lot. Yeah, I think I realised what I did on this. I took out some passives the other day because I was trying to get some craft stuff up. I took those out, I took those out, I took those out, took those out, took those out. Kept those in this time though. See, Grave Grasp, it used to be alright. This will have to be the last one because it is late. The Grave Grasp used to be alright. But I think as the meta's changed, it's become like less useful. So when Magicka first came out, because Soul Assault was so good, you could actually use it with Soul Assault really well. So you could do things like Blast Bones, Grave Grasp, Soul Assault, and that normally hits quite hard. I captured the relic. There are a few things I need to tweak on this, for sure. I need to morph that as well, but skill points. I'm supposed to just chill. I rolled too much. What's this during the dot patch days? This was before they destroyed the Soul Assault, basically. Soul Assault used to do all the damage in 3 seconds, now it's like 6. So basically just, it's not useful at all. And so you basically had like the 90k tooltip damage in 3 seconds. It was brutal. If you blocked it though, you stayed alive. But they got rid of it because people moaned. Dead. I don't know, I just think it's also terrible now. Like, it's really bad. you don't run away.
Keep a grip on that relic. Those warms our scales. Quick, grab the relic back.
We must get the relic. Oh, a bit of bad luck. They dropped the relic.
I pushed the children far. Taking out deathmatch, get it back.
Grab the relic back.
Every match is deathmatch. You can see this. Oh. Yeah. That's what I'm like on Magicka, if people are curious. Play it relatively okay. The Twin Swords are really hard to fight if they're good. Especially, and if they're coordinated, it's really difficult. But almost got there with the craft in it as well. But I'm gonna have to call it there, I think, because it is almost which one? You keep changing between Mag and Stamsork. Which do you think is better? I think both are good. I know that's kind of not what you want to hear, but they're good in their own ways. Magicka basically is more reactive in all honesty. So I think Magicka Sorcerer has better damage because you can get the kind of same damage that Stamsork has, but at range, a lot easier. You also have a better execute because you can queue it up in your combo. You have more mobility with Streak and access to more reactive healing via shields. What Stamsork has, however, is it's got better sustain and movement in melee range, so you can move really fast. You got lots of passive healing, that's a big thing too. So as Shafer's kind of said, it's Magicka's probably better if it's not in lag, but if you have any kind of lag or delay, Stamsork's better for just the passive mitigation and healing it has. Largely due to imagine the voice chat. Largely due to crit surge. So this is obviously healing. It's not massive healing, but it's consistent healing. So when you're in melee range, you're doing hurricane damage, you're landing this, like this is ticking every second or two, whereas on a Magicka this procs every 2-3 seconds, rather than this is every 1 to 2 seconds. You then have Vigor, which you can obviously cast when you need it. So it's just lots of kind of just passive healing all the time, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it does add up quite quick. Let me find an enemy just to show you. See the crocodile? I think I got my 3,300. So in PvP that's like 60% less, so it's about 1,800 roughly. It can crit as well. So of course you can get a lot of healing from it. And what's nice is just whilst you're just moving around the enemy, Hurricane's obviously ticking. You then normally have poisons as a stand talk. So that's kind of what I'd suggest if you want to go with more what's probably better Mag Talk, in my opinion. It just does what Stand Talk does at range. But Stand Talk has better survivability and works better in lag. But it's really reliant on using Dizzying Swing. Although you can use the other morph for this recently, which I've been using on a few builds, so like on a sniper, on a bow build, and also on a dual wield build. So using the other morph as my spammable rather than Dizzying Swing, and that works quite well. But yeah, I'm gonna skedaddle. So I'm gonna say thanks for people tuning in. I will put some videos up probably next week. And then if you want to stay up to date between now and then, you can join Discord and stuff. All the details are on the channel. But I'll catch you in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. And bye.